Good morning, everyone. Or hello, everyone. Retire on Dividends here. Back to make another weekly update to my options trading journey. I feel like it's been a while. So, what is this tab? I'm just going to go through a few things before we go through the trades. Let me shrink that column. So, I have an options watch list, and that's what you're looking at right here. For the most part, I'm kind of only trading TSLL and TNA at the moment, okay? And the reason is I'm comfortable trading those. I do have a bunch of others on here that I'm not as comfortable trading, like CLSK. It's on there, but it's on there only if there's nothing else going on, and I'm gonna give it a whirl, only because it's cheap and very volatile. All right. And then there's others like Mara, MSTU, Misty. I can't really trade them, unfortunately, at this very moment because I'm under this watch sale rule, timeline, which, I have to wait basically until after January 31st or so. And then I could play in again because I can't buy into any related funds because I already took the hit on MSTU for tax loss harvesting. Same thing with Soxel. I have to wait on that one as well. But I'm okay with waiting on Soxel because, to be honest, I got a sour taste in my mouth with them because I played them all wrong. So it was only, it was my fault to begin with. But regardless, that's why I'm not trading Soxel, Mara, MSTU, and Misty, and Bitex. Bitex is obviously too expensive anyway. So anyway, that leaves me with TSLL and TNA. And of course, there's TQQQ and UPRO, awesome funds. Their IV, unfortunately, is much lower than some of these others, but keep in mind they are triple leverage index, right? So what does that mean? Triple leverage? Yes, of course, triple leverage could be risky, but it's on an index. So, when I trade TNA, that's triple leverage index as well, but for the Russell, it's a little more volatile, but I feel a lot more comfortable trading TNA than typically trading an individual leverage, a leverage fund of an individual stock. All right. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. A little rambling there. I do have the ex-dividend dates for MSTY and the expiration dates, but I'm not really trading it at this moment. But I will cover that probably. Maybe not next week, but once I can start selling calls on my Misty shares. Actually, my Misty shares, I only have 100 shares, I believe. And they're, what's their average, actually? You have 100 shares at 33, and Misty's at 28. So, yeah, obviously I'm underwater. But I'm not going to sell puts on them either because I can't really buy them. All right, so anyway, what the hell am I doing? Okay, so I wanted to show you this right here, my goal. So the goal, I'm trying to be a little more conservative, be a little more planned out here, and not be just a complete lunatic and degenerate and just do everything. I was making a lot of money last year, and at the same time, I made a lot of mistakes. So I'm trying to balance out the portfolio. So this is what I came up with. Again, it's going to fluctuate as I see, what's best for my account. But right now, my goal that I'm stating should be 30% high yield ETFs, 45% for options, and 25% in cash. If you look at the actual, this is as of the close on Friday. I have 40% in high yield ETFs. I have 9% in cash. This does not include, 9% in options, not cash, but this 9% in options does not include cash on hold for the puts. So you have to keep that in mind. I may make that a separate column. We'll see. And then I have cash at 50%. So, yeah, as long as my cash, if I meet my cash goal, the other two, who cares, right? So I think 25% cash is pretty good. And also keep in mind, I do have margin, right? I do still have margin. So technically, if I made this 20% cash, that could be okay. But again, it's just kind of like a guideline to make sure it's not too out of control, when all said and done, right? But anyway, enough about that. Let's move on. A lot of tabs here. All right, so for this week, let me, yeah, get the proper zoom. All right, so I had some trades expiring this week, right? So what did I have? I'll start with the top. TSLL. I had a strike price. I sold a put with a strike price of 25.70, right? And I'll go to the other one. I also had a TSLL with a strike price of 24.20. All right, if you see in column I, both of which expired yesterday. Now, if you look here, TSLL closed at 25.92, right? 25.92 is above both of these prices, right? Both of these strike prices. So that typically means, I'm not getting assigned. These expired worthless. However, in the aftermarket hours, TSLL went all the way down to 25.70. But regardless of that, I checked my account this morning. And by the way, if you're wondering if you get assigned, I would say don't even think about it. Just wait until the following morning on the Saturday. Log into your brokerage. Again, I use Charles Schwab. At least I know they update in the morning, Saturday morning. And then check then. So I checked this morning. There was no TSLL shares in my account. So both of these expired worthless. I did not get assigned those TSLL shares, which, again, I'm okay with. But I'm okay with getting assigned too. So it didn't matter to me. Now, the other stock or the other ETF that I said I'm trading is TNA. Now, I sold a put. I think, I did it this week. I sold a put when it was at 44. I sold a put at 42. And when it went down to 43, I sold a put at 41. So I had a $42 put and a $41 put. Now, if I go down here, what did they close at? They actually closed at $39.36. Now, that is below both of my strike prices that I chose. So that means I got assigned. So if I go over here, I did get assigned. So that's okay. That's good, right? I wanted to get assigned in a way. Again, in reality, I don't care about the result. If I didn't get assigned, I'll just sell more puts next week. But since I got assigned, now I can play both sides. And all that means is, like, if TNA goes up way too high again, like $45, oh man, I'm going to be golden because I can use my 200 shares. I just have to sell above my cost basis. My cost basis, since I got assigned at 41 and 42, my cost basis is 41.50. So I just have to sell calls at 41.50 or above. So we'll see where TNA opens on Monday. If they open down, I'm not going to sell calls more than likely, right? I'm just going to sell more puts and go from there. All right. Let's continue down the line here. Actually, real quick on those 10, I just want to show you on the ones that expired on Friday how much I made. On TSLL, I made 50 and 46, so about $96 on those two. Both yielded over 100%. And if you look at TNA, I made 44 and $40. But I had to use more money, so I didn't yield as much. I had an annualized yield of 66% and 81%. Now, this is in my Retire Now account. My Retire Now account, I have a goal to yield 60% on an annualized basis. So as long as I can keep this above 60%, then I'm golden. However, I am keeping in mind 60% is very aggressive, so I may have to lower that. But for now, I am not, so I am sticking with kind of that minimum. So yeah, that's what I made on those trades. Now, moving on to the trades for next week. As you saw, TNA was continuing to go down. So as it went down to $41, I sold a put into next week, $38 strike price. Super low, right? Super low for TNA, at least where it's been. In fact, it was even 8.41% out of the money. So super conservative for me. I got 65 cents per share, or a total of $65. And that was an annualized yield of 69%. So that's good. That's good money right there. But unfortunately, TNA continued to go down, right? When it went down to $39.99, I sold another put for next week, $36 strike price. This one I got a little less. I got 50 cents because it was 9.98% out of the money. But it yielded 72%, which is pretty damn good. So again, for those two trades, I had to put up what, $7,400, but I made $115. Okay, because you see in the total premium 65 plus 50. So good money, right? Good money. Now, last but not least, TSLL on the Friday, it dipped. It went down, but it was dipped and then it was up, but it ended up down a little. But anyway, when it was at 25.85, I sold a put at 23.43. At the time, it was 9.36% out of the money, and it paid 60 cents per share. All right, which is a total of $60 and an annualized yield of 133%. So I really like the combination of TSLL and TNA, because TSLL, again, they got the single stock risk, and it's only double leverage, but it has a freaking awesome IV. TNA, it's got the index, right? It's the safe feeling of the index, but it's triple leverage, right? So, that being said, it has a lower IV, so I don't yield as much as I do on TSLL. But between the two, it's a pretty damn good combination, and I'm making decent money so far. So that was all the trades for this week. So if I scroll down all the way past this gibberish, now I get to essentially the new year, January. This is the total for January so far. I made $480. I'll get into my weekly breakdown. But yeah, that's the total so far. And we shall move on to the TSLL tab. So if you look here, I'm getting ready to add some shares to the top here that I got assigned. And I didn't get assigned anything. So my puts got expired. They expired worthless, as mentioned. So now TSLL sits at 25.92. I have one put, party of one. 23.43 is, again, it's a very annoying strike price, I know, but it's because of the stupid distribution. They have to, move it, but whatever, man, whatever. And also, I did add down here, anything that's cash on hold is essentially here, right? So I have $2,343 cash on hold for TSLL because I sold a put for 23.43. 23.43 times 100 is just that, all right? Makes sense? All right, now let's get to TNA. TNA is a little different. I did get assigned. So here you see, let me zoom in a little more. I got assigned the $42 strike and the 41, both on January 10th. Both had 100 shares, one contract each. So now I own 200 shares at 41.50 average. Again, I do not consider my premium when I create my cost basis, because my premium is income. It's going to be left alone. It's going to be untouched. So I'm only going to sell calls based on the true, assignment, right? This true cost basis. My true cost basis is 41.50. So if TNA opens on Monday and they go up to 41, 42, I will sell calls 41.50 or above only. If TNA goes down to $38, $37, then guess what? I'm not going to sell calls, right? I'm going to wait, and I'm going to continue to sell puts. Because if you look at the TNA chart, and yes, I do look at charts now. I'm trying, guys, and I will share what I learn as I go. I just hadn't had the chance. But if you look at something called the simple moving average, you can pull up the 20-day, the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day, and you can get an idea of where that price has been fluctuating around. And it'll give you a little better comfort level of, where you think it may go. But, honestly, I am comfortable owning TNA at 41.50. I am, based on just simply since I've been involved. Charts aside, right? Every time I play TNA, 42, I always tell everyone, it's my sweet spot. It's the top of the sweet spot, but it's a sweet spot. And I don't mind it. 41.50, beauty. That means I can sell calls at $42 and still make money. So, yeah, I'm having fun. And anyway, so TNA's at 39.36. The put party. Currently, we have two puts, as you saw. So I have a 36 and a 38 for next week. So that's there in case, if TNA continues to just drop and drop and drop, and it's possible, man, it's possible. Then guess what? Then I'm just going to have to get assigned on the 36 and the 38, and then it'll simply lower my cost basis, right? And then eventually, hopefully, things will turn around and I'll have a nice, sweet average when that happens. But again, things can turn around Monday and then it can go back up. We don't know what's going to happen, but you have to be prepared for either side. I want to make money on either side. And that's what I've been doing. Obviously, you saw, the reason I got into the disaster that I did is I was playing, number one, too many, and number two, too aggressive. So I'm changing things up this year. I'm not going as aggressive, and I'm not going to play too many stocks. So as of right now, TSLL, well, I'm not assigned on TSLL, but I'm trading. I have puts pending. TSLL and TNA, that's it. I'm not touching anyone else, okay? Because I don't have the money, to be honest. I don't have that much money in my account, so I can't. So, again, hopefully that makes sense. And if you can see, like, as far as percent out of the money, I'm going a decent amount, right? 8%, 7%, as high as 9%, right? In the past, sometimes I'd go like in the money, 1%, So again, I'm going to try to keep it reasonable. I even looked at Delta, guys. For God's sakes, that's how conservative I'm being. I'm looking at the Delta to see, okay, is it near a 20 Delta, 20 or under, or at least in the 20s? Then if it is, then that's pretty conservative. That's a good put strike to do. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. So I'm very excited that I got assigned on TNA this, yesterday. So I got 200 shares at $41.50. I'm actually really pumped about it. All right, so Misty, as you saw, well, I don't own any Soxel anymore. It's cleared out. Misty, I own 100 shares at 33. Like I said, I can't buy anymore because of the wash sale rule. But what I can do is hold. So all I'm going to do is hold this. And guess what, guys? Next week, they declare their distribution. So if they pay, I'm thinking around it's like $215, $250. Let's just say right? Two. I got 100 shares, $200. Boom. So that's good. Another $200 to my account because I'm going to need the help. Now that I'm playing options a little more conservatively, my income on my options is going to be a little less. So I'm not sure if I'm going to hit the goals that I want. Again, my goal is a 60% annualized yield calculated on a monthly basis. And it's going to be tough. Right now, my capital's down, and I just started having my mortgage come out of the account too. So it's all happening at once, like punch in the face. Boom, boom, boom. But hopefully, again, things will get better. Again, TNA is the start of good things because if TNA goes green on Monday, guess what? I may get some capital gains on top of the options premium. But either way, like I said, Misty, it's a hold. That's all. And I'm okay. I am more than okay holding Misty. I love freaking Misty. But in this account, Misty, that's not what it's for. Misty's for options. So as soon as January 31st is over with, I'm going to lower this cost basis. I'm going to sell more puts, lower the cost basis. And then guess what? When it recovers, I'm going to sell calls and I'm going to let these shares get assigned because I won't give a damn. All right. These are not buy and hold. They're more so buy and hold in the dividend car account, but not this account. This is more so an options account. And my buy and hold stocks, those are more the ones that have the better margin maintenance, such as, Ulti, believe it or not, 30% margin maintenance, right? SPY, 30% margin maintenance. FEPI, 30% margin maintenance. So all of those three, those are, the ones holding it up. I know I'm going on a rant here, but I'm just trying to explain because it's all in the same account. MSTU, same thing. I can't touch it until until the 30-day rule. All right, so 2024, we talked about that in the last video. It's closed out. So now we're on to 2025. So should I zoom out? Yeah, here we go. So week 1 was a short week for January. As you know, I made 125. That wasn't a lot, but whatever. Who cares? This past week, I made 355. I know that's not a lot either based on what I've been making, right? If you go to 2024, my prior weeks, I made over $1,000, right? Some of the weeks. I'm okay making 355. Capital used, I used $23,000 to make that, which is a yield essentially on a weekly basis of 1.54%. If I annualize that yield, it's about an 80% yield. So I'm doing good. Again, I'm above 60%, which is my goal. Keep in mind though, I have a lot in cash. So I have to keep in mind a lot of that money is not making money, and I need to make a decision of what I'm going to do with that cash, right? I have to make a decision of I need to put that in a safe fund, essentially like a money market. This is not Fidelity, unfortunately, where they do the sweep themselves and they put it in their little fund and we earn high interest on it. This is Charles Schwab, and they don't do something like that, unfortunately. Again, another benefit of Fidelity over Schwab. But I'll think of something, and when I do, I'll get back to you guys. So again, this is going to be for the 2025. Obviously, it goes down to the weekend in 12/26. And hopefully, we have a really good year. Obviously, we're at 484. Why is that? No, this one shows 3. This is probably not picking up. Yeah, it's not picking up E2. Okay, so yeah, 480 so far for the year. All right, now we get to the hypothetical tab. So what does this mean? Again, when we trade options and you make good money, you have to think to yourself, how much do I need to retire on options? I mean, the thought must come through your head. You may be retired anyway and you don't care. But, if you're not and you're trying to, think about it, right? My average rate of return on all my trades is 241%. And if I average that on, the entire balance, then I would need $92,000 to make $225,000. Of course, I understand that's not realistic, but those are the numbers. Now, what am I actually yielding? Based on my latest Retire Now account, I'm yielding 75.18%. And I could show you that, just so you guys know. If I go here, see my actual yield, 75.18%, right? Why is that coming up funky? There you All right, there you go. So 75.18% is my yield based on how much the income I made, based on how much capital I had, okay? So that's what I'm using because that is actually what I'm yielding, right? Where the heck am I? So using 75%, I would need $299,000 in my account to make $225,000 a year. And that, again, I'm far away from that, unfortunately. Right now, my balance is showing about $62,000. Again, the market's been kind of down as of late. I was at 65. I even almost touched 70K, but unfortunately, there's been, a lot of movement down. But it is what it is. We'll get back up. Hopefully, we can hit 100K this year. That's for sure. And because, again, I'm not putting new money in because I don't have new money, right? Because we have bills. So unfortunately, it is what it is. I have to make the best of the money that's already in there. And again, if I could get this balance up to 299,000 and I could yield 75%, that would pay me an annual income goal of $225,000, and that's a livable wage, right? You can live off that. And this is just one account. This is not even including the dividend car account, right? So you have to keep that in mind as well, which is awesome. And then, of course, I have YouTube. I do make money on YouTube, and I will show you the combination, of all of them and how much I make between, all the accounts. I'll start that in January and show you guys. I think I started tracking it as of October, November, but because I am going to start using that as, can I really replace my full-time job income? And can I do it comfortably? I mean, I really should probably make sure I can double it because, when you work a full-time job, you have other benefits. You have healthcare benefits that are much better than typically if you went out on your own. You have dental benefits, typically much better than if you went out on your own, right? And then you have retirement benefits, company match, right? 401k match, that goes away. Things like that. You have to keep in mind all of these. There's a lot of different benefits. So, all that needs to be considered before you even remotely consider, saying this is going to replace my full-time job income, right? But yeah, we'll see. More to talk about, more to discuss. But that's my options trading update for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'm playing a little more conservative, just because I don't want to be stuck in a in a crapshoot again. So again, I'm really pumped about this week. 4150 average, 200 shares on TNA, no shares on TSLL, but I do have a put party of one. We'll see how the week goes. I'm ready. I'm ready for a red Monday. I'm ready for a green Monday. I'm ready for both. Again, if I didn't get assigned anything, then I would typically say I'm ready for just a red Monday, right? Because I do, I want to be in the wheel. I don't want to be just selling puts. I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to be assigned. I'm going to roll it so I don't get assigned. I'm like, no, assign me so I can sell puts. I want to, because on green days, what do you do then? You're selling puts on green days? Like, I don't want to do that. I want to sell calls on green days, okay? I want to be on both sides of the table. Anyway, I hope that helped. But I will end it here. And I will mention that none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. And I hope you had fun. I hope you're entertained. If not, we will try again next week. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want more information or you just want to chat, feel free to join the Discord via the link attached to my YouTube. Yes, the Discord's free. And no, I will not message you. So if you get a direct message from someone that looks like me, it is not me. In fact, block all your messages. Just turn them off, okay? Obviously, if you use them, don't do that. But just ignore messages that look like it's from me, because I do not direct message people. Most of you are smart enough to figure that out, luckily. But they are everywhere, man. These spammers, they're animals. So I apologize in advance if you do get messages. But yeah, the reason I'm saying to join the Discord is because we have an options trading channel where it's just so much easier to discuss things, ask questions, things like that. And there's a lot of smart ass people who've been doing options for years. I ask them questions all the time, and I'm learning every day. And everyone in there is learning every day, even people who've been doing options forever. And it's awesome, because who else can you talk about options with in your real life? Do you know anyone? I don't, right? What are you going to do? Go to your friend, go to your wife, go to your children, your parents? You going to talk about options? I doubt it, right? I don't know anyone that knows options in my, personal life, unfortunately. And if I do, I have to tell them how to do it, right? And they want me to do it for them. So it's like, okay, this is not fun. But anyway, that's why we have the options trading channel, so you can sit back and relax and just talk to whoever about options. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling for one day. So let me upload this video. And again, I hope if you guys enjoy it, if you want to help out the channel even more, feel free to share this video with your friends and family. Again, I hope to make this series one of the best series of this upcoming year. I'll do my best to make it better and better as things go. If you guys have suggestions, leave them down below. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Later.